It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And we hear you. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Friday afternoon. We have a cold front coming in. It's going to be a real crisp 82 degrees.
I was going to say, we do really?
Yes. Welcome to all our friends in South Florida, LA, San Francisco, New York. We saw Chris from Hemp Boca was in here a little while ago.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Nothing. We talked about, he says to me, well, how am I going to grow the business? And he ran into one of our guests today. And we're going to let you try some of the stuff so you can check it out. Where'd it go?
Judy Laguerre is here from Just Ask Jude.
Just Ask Jude. Now, can somebody put camera one on Jude, please? Because there's an inside joke, and I want everybody.
How is it, Judy?
Can we tighten that shot, please?
Great, I guess.
Let's tighten this. So wait, she's in Arizona. Let's get a little tighter, a little tighter, a little tighter. That's it.
Judy, your blush looks beautiful.
Thank you.
How's the lighting?
Wait, let's go back to one.
How's your
Great,
lighting?
I guess.
You like it?
Yeah, I guess.
How's
Okay,
the
good.
lighting? Is the lighting good for you? If not, we have about 14 different light bulbs to change it with. She drove me insane for 2 weeks at the radio.
I know.
That I changed the tower. I put in a...
You changed the whole light. I know you brought in a
diffuser.
whole nother fixture. What a beautiful picture that is. Whatever you guys did with the color, it looks magnificent.
Look at you now.
Happy Friday to you, Freddie.
How are you doing?
What a week.
I got
What
a
a
lot
week.
of stuff I want to go over real quick.
Okay.
Number one, did you see on the news today where this little girl and her father were in Orlando, and the guy was playing the piano, and he says, "Do you mind if I sing Ave Maria?" This is in the hotel lobby. Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
It made me cry like a baby. This
Yeah.
guy,
Beautiful.
my goodness gracious. If the Mets are watching, you want somebody to sing the opening day national anthem, this guy will do it. This guy
Wow.
was phenomenal. But the thing that got to me was the little girl. Did you see her face?
Yes, she was looking up at her dad.
She was like, holy
I
mean,
know.
he filled this hotel. Everybody stopped. That's how good this guy
Wow.
was.
That's amazing.
And I said, what a way to end Friday, man. This guy just lit me up. Lit me up. And they got phone calls. They're lighting it
What's
up over
going
here.
on today?
888-994-4995, and he hung up on the other one. Really funny. But the bottom line here is that anything good can happen on any given day.
Any given day.
You know, some of the things that you write on Facebook are just remarkable.
Thank you.
All of Judy's posts are inspiring.
I have never in my life
Sometimes
met
I wish we just
anybody.
have one that didn't inspire me, because I'd be like, okay, she's not so perfect. Freaking every single one. It's one after another. Right? You and I talked
Where do you
about
get
it. We
these
think, holy smokes.
They actually find me. It's crazy.
They find you.
Yeah.
Well,
But
whoever it is
my
is finding
dream
you.
really is to inspire others.
You
My
do?
dream really is to inspire others. So when someone tells me that I do, and I thank you so much, it really truly means the world to me.
Every single post.
Thank you.
I think I go, okay, which one do I like more than the next one? They're all so inspirational and also true.
Thank you.
All of them are remarkable. And you know, the other thing, they have nothing to do with your weight loss program.
No.
You know, it's not like you're like weight loss and this, and it's just about being inspiring. It's about helping others. It's just you as a person, what you do,
Right.
which is amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, I owe you money, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even remember.
gotta owe her another
now
check.
You told me.
I'm just writing checks today. It seems to be 2 days. I ran out yesterday. 2 days of check writing.
You ain't me, Chuck.
No, I didn't write you a check yet.
In the house, I got my shrink.
You do.
That's the way I talk to everybody. Everybody
I
says
know.
to
Look,
me,
I have her card already. I'm going
Do
to make
you?
an appointment.
I tell you, if this is my shrink, everybody says to me, Oh, so you got to shrink now. So, yep, absolutely.
And well needed.
Remember that series on HBO, Sopranos, when he went to the shrink?
Oh,
he couldn't
yeah,
tell
yeah,
nobody?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
yeah.
can't tell what I got.
Well,
How's
and
that?
as I said,
Okay, I
well
like to be
needed.
called the resident shrink.
There you go.
Resident shrink.
That's we're going to hashtag you the resident shrink.
Yeah, I like
We have
it.
Eileen Lemelman with us from Center for Authentic Living and Judy Laguerre with Just Ask Jude. Oh, and are we going to talk about your product?
What are we talking about with you?
Well, we're just,
Get a little
we're
closer.
talking about, as a certified eating psychology coach, I help men and women to realize that the weight they need to lose oftentimes, oftentimes, is not on their body.
So we've had a lot going on. And Dylan, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. So, I help people realize that weight is a symptom. Excess weight is a symptom. It's a guardian angel, and it's a messenger, and it's pointing to somewhere in your life that needs attention. I'm proud to be part of a new movement as an eating psychology coach, very out on the edge. It's a very new movement, nothing you've ever really seen or heard before. It's a new look at weight. It's revisiting weight. And I never tell anyone that they should lose weight. I tell people they could lose weight if they want to. And for those purposes, I do have my hands on the hottest weight loss product literally on the planet.
And there's so
we're
much,
giving thousands their lives
with
back,
weight
so.
and different issues that people have, right? Our next hour, we're going to talk about guilt, and then Judy brought up a good point of shame versus guilt. And talking about what you saw on the news today, I was watching something. There's a meteorologist on one of the news channels, and she's pregnant. And she was getting these hate tweets that her belly was so big it was taking up the map. And so they brought her on one of the big news stations. But you know what? Here's the thing. Here she is in the public eye, right? And she says, and I had to go into the bathroom and cry because of what people did to make me feel so horrible. Right? And here she is growing a life, right? God's gift in her belly. And this is what outsiders are doing. And my segue for this is because we have a friend of Dylan's on the phone. And it's talk about growing up differently. I mean, we have people here that work with us, our producers. Everyone has their own gifts that they come with. You talk about people with weight issues, guilt and shame. Everyone's born with a gift, and everyone's born with something different. And Dylan grew up with a young man named Ben.
Yes.
Is Ben on the phone?
Yes, he's on the phone.
And
He's
Ben is
actually
on the
in Phoenix.
phone.
He's on
And they're
Phoenix.
doing a documentary about Ben. It's called
And-
About Ben and what it's like.
Born Ben.
Born Ben. And it's, what is it about, Dylan? About growing up with cerebral palsy.
Yes, I'll have Ben explain more about the film.
Hey, Ben, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You look like you're in a dark room.
You got to put some light on you. You can't open the window because you get glare. You got a little light or something?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
That better?
Yes,
Much
there you
better.
go.
There you go. So tell us about the documentary.
Sure. So the documentary started actually with a high school teammate of mine. His name is Bilali Mack, and he had went into the film industry. And he was at a practice one day when I was coaching, and he approached me after the practice, and he said, I'm looking to do a documentary about somebody, and I kind of want to do a story about you. I know we've been really good friends since high school, and I know you have a story, and I kind of want you to be able to share your story. Would you be willing? Of course, I said yes, because it was a win-win situation. It was an opportunity for me to share my story growing up with a disability, and also to help him kind of get out and market himself in the film industry as well. So for the last 3 years now, we've been working on the film, and I'm happy to say that we're pretty close to finishing it and reaching our goal of getting it funded also.
And tell us a little bit about the highlights of it. What about your life did you want to be put into a documentary?
So basically, I was born with a disability, and the disability is cerebral palsy. And basically how that came about was when I was in my mom's womb, there was a loss of oxygen to my brain, which caused the CP. And then with the CP, there's different variations of it. Symptoms can range from mild to severe. For example, mild could be somebody that walks with a limp, like myself, and severe could be somebody can't use the whole right side of their body because their muscles are just so tight. It almost looks like they're paralyzed from one side of the body. So basically, the documentary is about me having to live with a disability and figuring out my purpose in life and how to be successful.
Well, what have you come to the decision now at your ripe young age of 20-something of your purpose in life and how to be successful? What are some of the life skills and things that you've done?
So I've had a lot of good experience with basketball. That's a big portion of the film. And I also have been able to get through schooling, which was a tough process as well, but I've been able to earn 2 degrees, and I'm in the process of pursuing a career in college athletics. So we're kind of hoping that the documentary is a springboard, not only to help people realize the importance of breaking barriers, which is why we produced the film, but also to help myself continue to progress in my career as well.
Think about that. Well, how unique, right, Eileen? About now he's pursuing a career in college athletics. Here you are, born with cerebral palsy, right? And things, and all the things that are going, as people say, against you, you've now made it go for you. And what type of college athletics? That's remarkable.
Yeah, I'm looking to get into college basketball. Actually, I recently just joined the University of St. Joseph in West Hartford for their first season this past year under Hall of Famer Coach Jim Calhoun. So this was a process in itself because I was actually out of coaching for 2 years prior because I wanted to make the jump from high school to college. And obviously college is a little bit tougher field to get into, so I was getting hit with a lot of rejection from the programs that I was reaching out to. And St. Joe's was the safe haven, And I reached out to Coach Calhoun a bunch of times, and thankfully, he saw my passion for the game, and he was willing to come bring me on. And we had a really good season this past year. For our first-year program, we made it to the conference championship, and we got a lot of positive publicity from ESPN, so that helped, with us as a program and with the school reputation, and definitely thankful for the opportunity with St. Joe's, and looking forward to the next season already.
And let me ask you, what was it like? What has it been like to grow up not like everybody else, to grow up with cerebral palsy? What were some of the things that you ran into?
Yep. So definitely walking was a major issue because I basically had to teach myself how to walk. So basically with me, the way CP affects me is my balance and my coordination. So when I was younger, I didn't have the strength in my legs to be able to support myself, so I would always be flopping around when I tried to walk. So honestly, I learned how to walk by constantly falling down. And every time I fell down, I kind of used my muscle memory in order to be able to take, smaller steps. So basically, me constantly falling down taught me how to keep my balance and being able to walk. So when I first learned how to walk, I wore leg braces since the age of 2. So basically, they helped keep my legs in place so I could stand up and learn how to take steps. So basically, just through constant perseverance and trial and error, I basically taught myself how to walk.
Excellent.
Ben, may I just say something that you're quite an inspiration. Talk about inspiration and really displaying what a person can do, not what you can't do. And I love that. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
March is also Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month.
This is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month? March is? Well, good thing we're still in March. What can we do to help promote your documentary, or help you have a GoFundMe page or something that maybe we can help promote for you?
We have a Kickstarter, yes. And I believe Dylan has the Kickstarter. So if you guys can put that out on your webpage and just encourage people to take a look at it and donate, we'd appreciate it. So the Kickstarter is about 2 to 3 minutes, and it's basically a brief overview of the film. And then it's myself and Bilali coming on and talking a little bit about why we created the film. So we have the end goal of about $23,000, and right now we're at about $19,300. So we have until Sunday to get the last bit of donation. So we're trying to make this major final push. So I really appreciate you guys giving me the time to come on here and kind of broadcast this to a national audience, because we're really hoping that everybody can kind of make a final push and help us reach this goal. Because if we hit this goal, then we're fully funded, and then we can kind of get our message onto the national stage as well.
Unbelievable. Let's get the information. We'll put that out. And, you know, truly when you said
Turn off the popcorn.
you're such a motivation with teaching yourself to walk, you fall down, you get back up.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it takes you right back to what really life is all about, perseverance. And when you fall down, you get right back up. And you are an incredible motivator. I can't wait to see the whole documentary when it comes out. So stay in touch with us. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us.
And I just want to say God bless
Thank
you
you
for
for
what
having
you
me.
do.
Oh,
Seriously.
thank you.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Now, we play the show again at 5 o'clock, right, Dylan?
Yes.
So make sure that you put in the header, how to contribute on top of the header. So when people see the header, they'll be able to click in.
Okay.
So make sure that we remember to do that. And again, you are an inspiration to all of us here.
Absolutely.
And you continue to fight, and whatever we can do to help you, you got a home, and we'll do what we got to do. Nice
Oh,
piece.
They were very nice. Have a great weekend, Ben. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me.
A pleasure.
Excellent.
You know,
Wow.
we have all these meetings, right? We all sit and talk, and we talk all the time. And sometimes life gets so muddied, and we get bogged down by the minutia of the silliest things that you don't realize are silly until you see an inspirational story like Ben and say, wow, right? It just takes you back to what really life is all about. It's about persistence, perseverance. If you fall down, get back up,
Determination.
and determination.
Well, it's
That's-
interesting
Encourage.
because that's what
Yeah.
you guys are all about, right? I mean, you and I have gone down the road, and we've seen people that have used the program, haven't used your program, and everything else, but it all begins upstairs.
Absolutely, and I'm seeing such results in my coaching because I'm coaching about 4 people right now, and they've told me after just one session, one of them said, "I'm more centered every day. You're helping me start a new chapter," which to me, the joy was just indescribable. Another one told me she's so much happier and lighter, and she's doing things now, and she's finding movement that she loves. And we don't really ever talk about weight. We talk about, of course, I always pray before my sessions, and God does come into the session, so I really give full credit to Him. But we start with some breathing exercises and getting present exercises so that, you know, God does come into the session. And I just kind of follow the lead, and we talk about whatever we talk about, and it's just so on target. And it just makes so much sense because we're all looking for things to make sense. We want our lives to make sense. You know, 2 of the greatest days of our life are when we were born and when we find out why.
I read that.
So,
That's one of the things I copied.
Is
Yeah.
that where you got that from?
Got it from her.
So we want things to make sense. So that's why I tell people that are overweight, you know, the first thing you need to do is come from that place of love. Because you can't end up on the road to love when you're on the road to hate. And a lot of people that are overweight, I need to lose weight yesterday, I hate my body, my life will be great when I lose the weight. Well, I'm the perfect person to help someone lose weight because I grew up with the belief that I had to be thin to be loved. So that's such a toxic belief, and I struggled my life to stay thin, and it ruined such a huge part of my life. I'm a living testament that being thin will never make you happy. Ever. I've suffered from depression for most of my life. I'm finally really coming into the happiest I've ever been at 60 years old. So ladies and gents, it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. You're young, it's all a mindset. My life's just beginning. It's really just beginning.
You know, it's really interesting
So-
you brought that in because I want to bring in Doc in here as well because you said something a couple of weeks ago that really affected my life, okay? It really changed my perception. So when you say overweight and things of that nature, I look at, let's get healthier. I'm no longer concerned about my gut and being overweight and being heavy. That, you know, that doesn't play with me no more. I'm done with that. You know, I'm going to be what I'm going to be. I want to be healthy,
True that.
okay? So I have tried everything in the planet to fix my diabetes and my neuropathy and the whole 9, and I've gone to Pure Wave. Now, this is for me. I'm not saying it's curing anything. Do not write to me. Well, you can. It doesn't make a difference. I'm not saying it cures anything. It doesn't. But when you make the right choice to say, you know, I want to be healthier. I want to feel good for myself. Not for you.
It's about
not for
loving
you.
yourself, self-care.
Self-care,
So-
there you go. Loving yourself, true.
So my sugar, 2 years and a little bit more, was an 11.2. I was in ICU. I told this story to Vinny yesterday. He says, "And you're here?" Yeah, and I'm here. And my readings now are below 100 for the first time in 10 years. I got a 99 yesterday. I was doing the dance of joy.
That's
Because
awesome.
the work was there, and it is work. Nothing good in life doesn't require some work.
Well, look at Ben. I mean, a lifetime. And look at what a remarkable
Look where
man.
he is.
And to go into college athletics as a career, right? With someone born with cerebral palsy.
And not being afraid to
Unbelievable.
attempt that. And that's why I wanted to come to you, because you ever notice that you talk to people who are heavier or too thin or too tall or too short, and the conversation is always about something else. Well, I played football, or I did this, or I did that. It's not about the current view problem, because they don't see they have a problem. I was like that. I used to make fun of the fact that Dawn made fun of me, and she says, "You're gonna eat that? What's wrong with you?" And it didn't register that I was hurting myself by eating this stuff, right? With
But
the
it
cake.
wasn't that I was food shaming you.
You
Someone made a
weren't.
comment last week, don't food shame you.
You weren't.
It wasn't about food shaming. It was about, I didn't want you to die.
Well, and again,
It's
it's
pretty
the delivery.
simple.
The delivery.
Pretty
It's always about the
simple.
delivery.
You know, could you please live? Don't die. I mean,
It's the delivery. If I'm going to eat a donut, like I ate a box of donuts and then when I had my blood drawn, it was 269. Well, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, come on. Let's be a realistic person here. But what I like is the approach that it's okay to be you.
that's
And
what all
we
you can
fix
ever
the,
be,
and
right?
we'll
The only
fix
thing
the
to be.
problem. We'll fix the problem. But you got to meet you halfway. Yes? Would you agree on that? You got to at least meet halfway?
So we're talking about a lot about even what Judy was saying about bringing the person right into this moment. We're talking about being very mindful right here, right now. When anybody asks you, the question, where are you? The answer is always here. When somebody asks you the question, what time is it? It's always now. And when we're right here, right now, we can really, really just be present, not worry about I will be happy when. I am right here, right now, and how do I care for myself in this very moment?
True that.
Let's go to a quick commercial break, Dylan. When we
Dylan,
come
you
back,
got this?
Right.
conversation continues. More with Eileen Lemelman and Judy Laguerre. Maybe you're going to bring Hector's mom into the conversation.
Why not?
You know, she's a social worker in Dominican.
What does that mean?
She's a
Dominican.
social worker
In
in
Dominican?
DR. She doesn't live here.
In the Dominican.
Oh, you're correcting my English?
You said Dominican. You
In
said
the
social worker in
Dominican.
Dominican.
In the Dominican.
That's like saying he's
He's correcting
5'1"
my English.
and
How do you like that?
Dawn, speak English.
English. Speak English. We're going to
Did you
give her
hear
a
what she
mic. Bring
said,
her into
Teddy?
the conversation.
Oh, before we go to commercial, September 5th. September 5th is the date to remember.
It's Teddy's birthday.
It is Teddy's birthday.
Stay tuned. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. We'll be right back.
Okay, I gotta put that in my book.
Income from the convenience of your own home? Are you looking to help people and yourself take control of your health, lose weight, and feel great at the same time? It's time to drink and drop the pounds with Cafe Canna. No need to keep inventory or sit in an office. With 2 simple sachets a day, you'll receive your daily dose of coffee, CBD, and an appetite suppressant. Contact Bev today at 954-612-1271 or visit their website hempshopstore.com. Drink and drop the pounds to a new business and healthier you.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Pure Wave. Supercharge your cells. Energize your body with Pure Wave therapy. Are you ready for improved cell regeneration, less discomfort, a longer, healthier, vital life? Contact purewavenow.com for your consultation. PureWave technology strengthens the immune system and metabolism while activating hormone production. PureWaveNow.com, 561-965-7777. Pure Wave. Supercharge your cells. Energize your body with Pure Wave therapy. Are you ready for improved cell regeneration, less discomfort, a longer, healthier, vital life? Contact purewavenow.com for your consultation. PureWave technology strengthens the immune system and metabolism while activating hormone production. PureWaveNow.com, 561-965-7777.
And we're back.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Nadine Kirby, thank you. Yes, March is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. And Nadine, you met Nadine, I think, Saturday night. She's incredibly a special, remarkable woman. And David, her son, has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So you talk about understanding what it's like to grow up different.
Yes.
And then Nadine is watching. So thank you, Nadine, for always being a supporter. And anything we can ever do for you, let us know. And MDA is getting a check from the Panthers this week as well.
And Nadine, we spoke to Tony and Chris from
Pure Wave.
And we want to try something. So after the show, we're going to put you in contact. I think Tony's going to be here around 2 o'clock Sunday. We want to talk to you about trying something new that me, the diabetic, has done. It has helped reduce my sugar. I don't know why. Bless you.
Bless you.
But
holy
it
smokes.
worked because sometimes it isn't about knowing the why. It's about letting it work and then saying, hey, this worked for me, maybe it worked for you. It's the same reason that I met you. And what inspired me about you is that you had this wonderful diet plan, but that wasn't what sold me. What sold me is that you care about life. You care about living. And anytime you care about living, you got my attention.
And Judy is so authentic, and I love. We were just saying, and I want to hear more of your story. That it's not just about, we grow up as girls and self-confident, self-conscious about our weight and being thin, and thin is better. And you get to that scale mark you hit, and you go, I'm still not happy. Well, then maybe if I have some plastic surgery, I'll be happy.
Exactly.
Nope, get that done, I'm still not happy. Well, if I get this, and maybe I'll get this great date. Nope, still not happy. And then you go, well, what? Like, what is this? I'm thin. I've done everything. I've got these great new clothes. I've got a great new job, but I'm still not happy. Right. So what is it? What changed for you, Judy? And you say it's never too late at 60, right?
I just want to put one little thing in before you speak, because I really want to hear what you have to say, Judy. But you're talking about something that's so important in, especially all of our lives, but especially women, that if you think back to that moment when you suddenly, because as children we're just all out there innocent, loving our lives, playing, we don't think about our bodies. There's a moment when you realize that you're different or you don't measure up, and suddenly you become ashamed of your body.
Yeah, but you know what, though? It's other people. It's not that you suddenly go, oh, I'm different, I'm ashamed. It's someone else who is bullied. And the remarkable thing about Ben's story is he never once said he was bullied. He never once said someone shamed him. He never once said someone made it harder for him. He just said he kept going.
Now, because he didn't say it, is it true?
Right? Huge.
But is it true, even though he didn't say it, that he didn't go through it?
No,
we don't know.
It's not
because
true.
I could tell you, I don't, and I did, but I don't talk about it. I never said I was, but I was.
But I think it's that bullying they make us feel we're not who we should be. Right? We're not born to say we're not who we should be. It's something goes on in our outer life that says you're to this or you're to that.
We get wounded. But you know what you were saying, Eileen, let me just say that, weight shaming has to stop. And you know, it's our culture and our media and the toxic messages that are sent. You know, girls that are 4 years old are talking about going on a diet. Okay, this is really, really sad. And it's what it is it's just the toxic messages from our media and culture that personalize within us and cause tremendous amount of shame. And even if you're thin, you could be thin and be in the best shape ever, but the fear of losing that, and the only way to be embodied is to be that thin, perfect body, that is just as much of a weight issue as someone that needs to lose 2 to 400 pounds.
But what is a thin, perfect body, Judy?
Well, it's what this culture defines as the perfect body.
So you're going to live your body according to other people's opinion?
A lot of people do, and this is where the people-pleasing comes in, and this is where the self, you know, the approval-seeking comes in. And what happens with people-pleasers, I'll tell you, one of the major reasons for binge eating is people-pleasing behavior, because this person sets 0 boundaries. It's their only time to go in, shut that door, get out those marshmallows or Ritz crackers or whatever it is, and say, this is my time, I'm calling the shots, I'm having as much as I want. But it's not really a conscious activity. We're all unconscious, I'm going to tell you that right now. And you know, one of the things I figured out is that, you know, you asked me before, Dawn, you know, how does someone know, how do they get happy before all this stuff happens? What we're really looking for is to become in alignment with who we truly are. Okay. We're looking to express ourselves freely in this world, which, by the way, is our birthright, is joy and freedom. We're looking to just be who we are in this world and to come in alignment with that inner child. You know, we're all wounded inner children. I don't care who or what family you claim to have had. If you had the perfect family, which, by the way, does not exist, there was a bully out there. Yeah. There was a bully. If something happened, I will tell you, I was a drug addict before I learned how to walk, because my twin sister and I were taken care of by a nurse. She was from the island. She was taking care of us. My grandma, who lived with us at the time, said to my mom, Lily, they never cry. Something is wrong. And my mom said, they're just good babies. Well, she was putting a heavy narcotic in our formula. So even when I was born, that innate hunger to cry, that innate, innate, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, it's an instinct. It's a
natural, instinctual to want to cry out for food, to be hungry. That was taken from me.
It's intuitive.
That was taken from me. And even when babies are born at the hospital, they say it's so important for the baby to be put right in the mother's arm. That's that bonding period, but they take the baby into the nursery. Not only was I taken into the nursery, but I was drugged. So that instinctual nature to cry that I'm alive and that I'm hungry was taken from me. So having no voice would follow me for the rest of my life. This belief that I had no voice. I cannot set a goal, because when I hear the word goal, I get such a stomach ache. And I said to my sister, we're twins, what do you think that's about? She goes, Judy, you were never allowed to have goals. So it's very natural that you would feel that way when you hear the word goal.
Why were you never allowed to have goals? Because at some point they found
the nurse was doing this. It wasn't allowed in my family. It just wasn't allowed in my, no legal action was taken. She was fired, but no legal action was taken. And the doctor said 2 more weeks of that would have caused permanent brain damage.
Really?
Yes.
It's funny because I've met women and some guys who talk about how guilt stops them from being themselves. Mm-hmm. We had a conversation with Tony today. And sometimes you can't be yourself because of guilt, because you're not what society wants you to be, because we've been induced by society to take away who we naturally are. So my question is, can you outgrow it? Can you change it? Totally. And does it matter at what age? If I'm 57 and I decide to get my life back, am I too old?
Absolutely not. I see people all the way up. My oldest patient is 96 years old.
Okay. God bless.
Okay? She's still really willing and wanting and exploring to find out how to be happy. How can I be happy? And I think it's a beautiful thing because we're all on a journey. Our entire life is a journey. And as long as we're willing to take a look and explore and be open to it, you can change. If I wouldn't be in this business if I didn't think you could change.
So can your
Absolutely.
ROI be, right? People pay you,
Yes.
right? You have a business. Can your ROI be happiness?
Yes, it can be.
I just wanna
Absolutely.
comment on-
Touche, my friend.
I really want to comment on what you just said, because this is something that's really important for people to understand. I've been on a search for happiness my whole life. I've taken every course in the book. I'm actually licensed to teach one of the most powerful courses in the world. And I will tell you this. Happiness is not something you are. Happiness is something you do.
That's right.
And it will always be a choice, and it will never come to you. It can only come from you. So when I was saying that we're looking for alignment with who we truly are, that's what happiness really is. Happiness is appreciating the simple things. There's a song by Charlie Brown, I love it. Happiness is a pencil. It's, you know, the girl with the freckles chewing on her pencil. You know, it's happiness is peanuts. It's whatever it is. It's the ball game. It's the things in life that bring us joy, but it's a choice.
When you bring I'm going to give you your gift today, because you found it.
My gift?
Yes, because your gift is your happiness is going to be what you do, what you're doing right now. When I see you, the room lights up. I see Dan that he's healthy. The world is in a better place. So there's your gift.
True.
It is the art of what we call from extension from the elbow. It is your gift.
Right.
The thing that I wish that the interns and the kids have, that I want them to learn, is that no matter how bad it seems, no matter how bad, you can change your life. You have choices.
Totally.
Always create choice. Always create a back door. Give yourself
An option,
a chance.
yeah.
Get an option. If you don't have options, if you are brain dead in a bed and you got no options, and that's a different show, because I can tell you,
You've been
they
there
may
too.
have-
And we
they
don't
may
know
have
that
options
that
there, too.
person's
That's
not
right.
happy there.
That's right. That's why
We
I didn't
don't
want to
know
go
that,
there.
okay?
That's
They're
why I didn't want to go
probably
there.
happier than we'll ever be.
That's right. Because if you ain't been there, don't
so-
tell me you know what it's like.
Well, let me ask you, so how at 60, because I'm not saying it, she announced it on air before I did, have you said, you know what, it's never too late, I'm the happiest I've ever been? What changed?
Totally. Well, first of all, I've always been, since I was 5 years old, I've always been very close to God. But I've really drawn so close to God that he's my first love. And all you really need is God and to master the law of attraction, and you're set. Believe me, you need to understand the laws of the universe, that we get what we think about, we get what we focus on. We attract and create our life by our thoughts, and most importantly, our feelings. So I really have embraced God. I realize that I've got that foot out in the spiritual realm. I'm not totally here on earth, because if I were, it would drive me crazy. So I do have that foot out in the spiritual realm. I'm very godly, and I always pray about everything I do. So I always pray to God to use me as a vessel for his glory, to have people see him through me, feel him through me, see him through me. And I've given up on a lot of the superficial stuff that used to be really important to me. And of course, becoming an eating psychology coach and going through that amazing course at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, which, by the way, I binge ate through, dieted through, and cried through.
You had Ritz?
Did I have a Ritz?
Did you eat your Ritz?
I'm not a Ritz person, although I happen to like them. We definitely need to have a Ritz, definitely.
Do you know every time I have
just
an
don't
attack,
normally buy Ritz,
I
but
say
I
to
like
her,
them.
I want to have a Ritz because I feel guilty about doing it. I shouldn't eat them.
Don't feel guilty. Enjoy
She
your
said,
life. That's
enjoy your life.
ridiculous.
Only person on
I'd
the
rather
planet.
see you die 10 years younger
Now,
and have
I
the
don't
Ritz.
always have them because of my sugar, but man, do I
Gotta
like
enjoy your life, and the poison's in the dose.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you right now, the
Just
poison's
keep it small.
One Ritz is not going to kill
Small
you.
poison.
Yeah.
Dylan, we're going to go to commercial break. Is the producer calling in, Dylan?
He's not or he is?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with this conversation that I can't even title it. So let us know what you think. 888-994-4995, and we'll be right back.
Express travel representative has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a cruise planner's travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true. At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or carmencarelaser.com.
My bell got stuck.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little scary commercial break there. We are back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. It's Friday already. Unbelievable. We haven't been on remote in about 6 days, Freddie. There you go. Some coffee beans for you.
Oh, Natalie, you guys want coffee beans? You like coffee beans?
Judy, you're never going to be the same.
Oh,
These are CBD-infused coffee beans.
Well, you can chew it.
She's going to be feeling no pain very soon.
No, I'm kidding. You're going to be fine.
They're delicious.
Give us a call at 888-994-4995. I want to bring Hector's mom because we've never met Hector's mom into the conversation.
Well, I'm so happy to be here because I've been told that you were only on internet, and now I realize you are all over, and this is such a nice show that I'm from now on going to listen to, because my son is an intern here, and since he's been here, he has been so happy and renewed. And now I know why. No wonder you have such wonderful guests here that a year now are so inspirational.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you're holding out on your mom, Hector.
You don't tell her what you do?
Look at his face. He's like, I don't know. Hector is our animator, and he is phenomenal in what he creates. He created one for the Brain Bowl. He's created our intro, all these things that you see that of animation.
It's Hector.
HPR Productions has created. But you are a social worker in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, I am. I study here in New York, and that's why I love all the pictures that you have from Brooklyn here. And I went back to Dominican Republic 16 years ago, and we have a little foundation for children with learning disabilities. And in there we help children and their families to understand that it's not their fault to not being able to succeed at some of the classes, but to accept that sometimes the brain doesn't work the way that we want it to. And in that way, we learn techniques to help ourselves so we can overcome a lot of the disadvantage that we have in the classroom, because it's not their fault that the curriculum is not developed in a way that helps them integrate into what they're supposed to learn. So we're trying to break that barrier for them to be able to teach the teachers and the parents to help them being part of, instead of being isolated or being separated from what's supposed to be a cooperative.
Right, normalizing experience.
Effort.
Judy, it's like what you said, right? If we have these experiences as kids, we're wounded, right? If that bully consistently bullies and bullies, even with our parents' support, we walk away and there's something about us that just clicks. And I don't know why we believe the bully over the love of our family, but something innately in us, we're just wired wrong sometimes.
Well, let me ask a deeper question. You got the bully at the top of the pyramid, but what about that you were made into a bully? I mean, you weren't birthed a bully.
Right.
You know, you don't come out with roller skates from your mother's womb and all of a sudden you're a bully. That's not the way it works.
People do it to be liked. They do it to be liked. They do it to be liked. But let me just say what I just discovered, because I think what we want to focus on really is healing, right? Life is so beautiful. We really want to heal, and we want to really, you know, appreciate the beauty around us. It's called reappraisal, and I just really love this concept, is to reappraise what happened to you. Reappraise your anger, so to speak. So in other words, if you were sexually abused, and let's go deep, let's go to something that's really quite traumatic. You were sexually abused, you were raped, whatever it was. If you reappraise the situation, and what if it had nothing to do with you? It has nothing to do with you. Yes, I'm so sorry you were wounded and you were terribly hurt and wounded. But a lot of times people take it upon them that I'm a piece of dirt. It was my fault. I caused this. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. It has nothing to do with you. Like, I know someone on social media that was sexually abused as a child, and, you know, by actually a grandparent, and really went through a lot of stuff because of this. So yes, you want to be angry, but we need to forgive. So how do we really do that? We need to reappraise our anger and realize that this person that attacked you was sick. I'm not taking away the responsibility. I'm just saying this person was sick. You happen to come into contact with this horrific situation, but this does not define you. This does not take anything away from you. This could have happened to anyone. It could have happened to anyone.
You're talking about the person being a person, but it's still going to affect you. I mean, look what happened in the Catholic
course it's
religion.
gonna
You're
affect
talking
you.
about
Catholic
cognitive reframing, which is a wonderful tool.
Right.
But we also have to know when we're traumatized like that, there are cognitive, neural, they're not cognitive, there are neural pathways that are created in the brain that trauma does to us. So it's not about necessarily accepting that a person is sick, although that's reframing the experience so that we don't have to internalize it as it was our fault. But we also want to do some trauma work in order to create new neural pathways, because we can never get rid of the old neural pathways that were created with trauma, but we can create new neural pathways.
But what about when you grow up, you go through all this trauma, and then you have kids, and even if you're growing these new pathways, and you're still in that growth state, don't you have like something's going to be given off to your offspring? All of a sudden, things that you're feeling is what you're going to give off?
Well, like generation to generation,
yeah,
right?
there can be a legacy that's really passed down. That's why you find that generation after generation, you'll find abuse, incorporated, because there is a legacy. But that's why they need to come to me, because they need to gain awareness. They need to make new kinds of ways of coping and dealing with trauma and the way they have. Those are tools that they've been given that just like drinking and drugging and beating and, it's very unhealthy, but they are tools that people think that's how you have to live life. And even though it's really dysfunctional, it's very familiar for people.
And it helps them survive.
Yes.
So really any addiction, I'm sorry, but addiction is not a disease. And they can say it all they want. I'm sorry. Addiction is compulsive pleasure seeking. And these are people that are looking for pleasure.
Obsessive compulsive is a disease, is a mental illness.
I disagree that addiction is a disease. I disagree. As a matter of fact, the DSM regards binge eating as a disorder and disease, and it's not. Binge eating is a behavior. There's no such thing as a binge eater. It's a behavior, and it's very often the people pleaser that sets no boundaries, zero boundaries. This is the only place in their life where they have control, and they go into this unconscious, ritual, so to speak. That's why what we do is we teach them to ritualize the binge so that they're actually planning it and making it conscious, and then you're allowed to have whatever you want, but you're going to start with just a smaller amount, and then you're going to have a little more and a little more.
Well, you're teaching accountability, no?
I'm sorry?
You're teaching accountability. You're accountable for your portion control.
Well, yeah, but it's a lot more than that, because when someone's binge eating, it's putting a form of control, the only control they have, because they set no boundaries. So this is the only place in their life where they can control what they're putting in their mouth, how much they want, they're calling the shots.
But what do you think, because I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, that we, as this generation where we are now, we've lost our sense of life skills. Because if we had these life skills and coping skills, then maybe we wouldn't know how to set the boundaries. We wouldn't, right, one thing starts the next. It's this whole cascade. And unfortunately, people are taking their lives. Is it that they don't have the life skills or know that there's resources to reach out to? Are we binge eating and being addicted to drugs and alcohol and food because we don't have the life skills of coping and setting those boundaries? Like, something got us to that point, right?
Absolutely.
So it's all this family stuff, all these wounds that we have, maybe as children, right? Maybe as being teased, maybe as being different. But everybody is different. It just
but
gets
we're
bigger.
Also using a lot of these tools and these, very dysfunctional ways of handling the pain. So we're trying to numb and medicate. But I still will say that alcoholism and drug addiction is a disease. I do believe that.
That's great, and that's great.
That's what Nadine
That's my
says.
belief is that it's not. It's my belief.
Well, the perception.
I don't think addiction is a disease.
But perception of how you help somebody, right? It doesn't matter. And what matters is that you're going to help them and they're going to overcome. Now, what do you do? Because we got a few minutes. What do you do if you know somebody needs help and that person is in denial? And that may be a bad word.
Call Karen Rayner as an interventionist.
Well, let's keep Karen on this side. But what do? Do you say to them, you talk to them and try to get them to see the light? Do you have an intervention? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Are you talking about an addiction?
I'm talking about a problem.
Right.
It could be
depression.
any problem.
Well, you have to, you have to, it's like fear. It's like you have to face everything and rise. I mean, instead of fear everything and run.
But I'm the one facing it, or you?
You have to bring it into the forefront. In other words, if someone comes to me, people come to me wanting to lose weight, and then I help them to realize that the weight you need to lose isn't on your body.
But no, I'm assuming they don't come to you. You see somebody who's heavy.
Okay.
And you want them to live a healthier life.
Well, they can only do what they choose to do. So in other words, I've never gone to a doctor that has told me to change my thoughts.
Okay.
Okay? He'll just give me some medicine and say, take this, you'll get better. There's no such thing as disease. It's a dis-ease in the body. And I have a book by Louise Hay, Heal Your Body, for every single ailment, including alcoholism, depression, whatever it is. There's probable causes, like for instance, high blood pressure is a long-standing problem not solved. Then she gives you an affirmation for it. Every dis-ease in the body, every disease, including cancer is fear, everything in your body.
Well, that's why we're talking. You're talking about doing holistic healings, which is what our center really focuses on. Really, really dealing with the mind, body, and soul, mind, body, and spirit. But so I'm not really sure what you're saying about there's no diseases.
It's a dis-ease in the body. So in other words, when someone is not in alignment with who they are and the energy in the body, it will cause a dis-ease, which is a disease.
That's the same thing Tony says with the math.
Yes, the math.
Disease.
There are people, and I gotta admit, she happens to be in my world, correct. There are people they're not aligned.
Exactly.
And diabetes happens to be one. Now, I thought these people were from outer space until I started being on the Pure Wave.
So it's the energy.
Absolutely. Yes,
and
it's absolutely
I'm going to tell you
energy.
something. My sugars come down, my weights come down. I don't know what the hell is going on, but all of a sudden I'm aligned. I think clearer, the whole nine.
It's the flow.
And there's no way of calling it anything but what it is. I wish I could explain it. You know what?
Yeah, you have to experience it.
You know what? Last night we had permission to do the thing with it on your
Vitalizer,
phone.
yes.
Yes. The Vitalizer is going to prove what she's saying in your hands. And do we have lemons?
Oh,
I'm
if
gonna
you're
go.
a male or female, it goes around or it goes this
That's
way.
our
That's the
pendulum.
energies.
No. This is a whole different ball wax.
It
We're going to
changes the
show
energy,
you.
but before we do that, and we go in the refrigerator, let's get Judy's information because then we have to switch over.
See if there's a lemon over there.
People can reach me at justaskjude@gmail.com. justaskjude@gmail.com. And please reach out for me because I will make your weight issue a non-issue.
And your show is when?
You know, my show is on Monday nights from 6:30 to 7, and it's called Weight No More, Just Ask Jude. And I don't only talk about eating psychology and my products. I have people on to provide informative material to about people-pleasing, toxic relationships, domestic violence. I think I'm going to have a gal on this coming week. We're doing the law of attraction.
It's a comprehensive show, and it's not just about weight loss. And Judy walks the walk, talks the talk, and is always an inspiration. All over social media, so you can find her at Judy Laguerre all over social media. We're going to switch over to radio.
Are we?
Yes, it's
Is that a
Friday,
question?
isn't it?
Awesome.
It's
I
Friday.
think we keep going.
We've got Eileen Limmelman with us from the Center for Authentic Living. You're staying with us. I want to rediscuss something from last week.
Okay.
Just saying. Stay tuned, and we will be right back.
1 minute.
Teaching you the opposite of everything you've been taught so you can obtain the results you've never obtained. Join us 7 days a week. Can't get enough? Visit DellOnTheRadio.com to listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, access past show podcasts, and join the conversation.
The information and opinions you hear on the Del Walmsley Radio Show are those of the host, Del Walmsley, his guests, and his callers, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this station, its affiliates, its management, or advertisers. The Del Walmsley Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented on the Del Walmsley Show constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.
Here is today's top automotive tech story. I'm Nick Meyer.
This is Gab 2, the Gab Radio Network.
Talk 1470 and 95.3 FM, the Health and Wealth Radio Network. Listen for attorney Lisa Macy, Thursdays at 1 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Health and Wealth Radio, WNN. Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM, W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Welcome to the Invite Health Buy One, Get One Free Spring event. Invite Health, a leader in top-quality health and wellness products formulated with CGMP and non-GMO standards, announces this limited-time offer. The sale is on now. Buy any Invite Health supplement at suggested retail and get the second bottle free. Here's the number and write it down because you could speak with an Invite nutritionist 7 days a week. The number is 800-463-7575. The number for Invite, 800-463-7575. You can also visit our boutique-style Invite stores and receive a free personalized nutritional plan from one of our healthcare professionals. Visit invite.nyc for retail locations and additional product offers. Take advantage of Invite's limited-time buy one, get one free spring event. Contact Invite at 800-463-7575. That number again, 800-463-7575. Or go to invite.nyc. Invite Health, the luxury vitamin brand.
They say it should be impossible for bumblebees to fly because their wings are too small for their bodies. But bumblebees don't care. They just fly. Bright Expectations is dedicated to helping our Florida residents with special needs and unique abilities find the resources, support, and inspiration that they and their families need to break barriers and achieve their dreams. Visit www.brightexpectations.com to start your journey today.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
What you want to know. What you need to know.
Talk 1470 WNN.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions. A voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. To all our friends in South Florida, LA, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, all over the place.
You confused?
No, there was a delay on my headset.
You know when you go to a restaurant, you order food, and you sit back down someplace else, you don't know where the food is. He looks up from the board, he says, wait, everybody moved. Cameras moved, people came, people left.
Welcome to part 2 of part 1. If you didn't see part 1, here, read 1, nothing happens, but good luck with that.
And if you can find that on social media, you're a step ahead of the game because they've all changed their logarithms.
I don't understand Facebook whatsoever, but if you're watching today's show, I need your help. I can't share it out. Apparently, I am in Facebook jail. So if you will be kind enough to share it out to the people that you know, we will greatly be appreciated.
We're having a fun, fabulous Friday at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Check out the first hour. You can give us a call at 888-565-1470. We have Eileen Lemmelman with us, and we have a special guest with us. We have the animator's mom in-house with us, and she is a clinical social worker as well, like Dr. Eileen is, in Dominican Republic.
You see how Hector disappeared?
Animator's working.
Is he?
Yes, we've got Martha Rodriguez-Perez with us and Eileen Lemmelman from the Center for Authentic Living. Everyone wants to know where your office is, Eileen, so we're going to get into that as well. I want to touch on what we talked about last week.
Okay. But before you do that, can we talk about what happened last night?
What happened last night?
Who we see last night?
We saw lots of people.
No, come on.
You know what happened last night? This was an amazing story.
What happened last night, Dawn?
We sat here yesterday at a 1 o'clock hour, and we talked about a big event that's happening at FAU this weekend, and it was with Paul Collins, who has put this Eco Trail Trekker event happening at FAU. Parking lot 27, 60 vendors are going to be there. They've got a 5K, a 10K, and a 30K happening on Sunday at 7 a.m. So you can go to ecotrailtrekker.com, look for the Boca location. It is the first time it is in the United States. It's going to be a great event. But we were sitting here talking because on April 12th, we are going to be at Boca West for the Brain Bowl. It is an amazing luncheon. About 1,200 people are going to be there. And it's all to knock out. Maybe we can play the spot while we're talking about it that Animator has created. Knock out Parkinson's, dementia, and Alzheimer's, right? So it's all these neurological disorders coming forward to the Brain Bowl. So the head of the Brain Bowl says, well, we're looking for some famous boxers to come really support our mission. So we're talking to...
This was 8 months ago.
Right, so we're talking to Paul yesterday, Collins, and he says, oh, I know Mama Ali. I've known her for years, since the 70s, right? When we used to be in Europe and we used to hang out, Muhammad and Mama Ali. Haven't seen her in years. End of conversation. We walk into WNN last night, and who walks in for the Becky and Boca show? Mama Ali. Walks in, and we went, holy smokes, how did that just happen?
Well, it's funny because
and then
8
he
months
was on
ago
the
we
7
met
o'clock
her.
hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said to Paul, we have the 7 o'clock hour open last night. Why don't you join us? So he walks in, sees her on Becky and Boca show. They all start screaming, and they hadn't seen each other in years. And the
20
pictures
years.
that they brought up, right, when they were playing darts, he was playing with Muhammad Ali, and when they were married. What an amazing get-together they had last night.
Muhammad actually threw a dart over his head like this, like a hook shot, and hit the bullseye.
We could not have put that piece together if we had planned it.
Well, the part two to that story is that 8 months ago, when we were picked to do this
Rainbow.
piece, we had said to her, because we had just met Mama Ali, we had just said to her that we were going to get in touch with her because they want boxes for the event. So now we have a friend who knows Evander Holyfield, and she named Busta Rhymes, a few boxes. She knows them all. So I didn't know how we were going to keep that promise 8 months ago because we couldn't find her. She went to Trinidad and Tobago. She went to Vegas. She disappeared, and we didn't have her number. And boom, here she is.
Because not only does she have access to all these incredible boxers, Muhammad Ali's story, of course, is the Parkinson's, right? So she and her daughters have an entire platform that discusses Parkinson's and the fight to raise awareness for Parkinson's disease.
Right.
So she's going to be joining us, and I think one of her daughters might join us.
Yep.
The Brain Bowl is April 12th at Boca West Country Club, an amazing piece that Hector put together. And on April 11th, we are slated to have Mary Lou Henner join us on set because she will be...
Is that official?
It's official if her plane arrives on time. She is the keynote speaker at the Brain Bowl on the 12th, so she will be joining us on set on our 1 o'clock hour with Pam Polani and Paul, of course, always on Thursday, and Mary Lou Henner will be joining us on the set on April 11th, so that'll be really exciting.
You know who Mary Lou Henner is?
Yes.
Doesn't everyone?
No.
You guys know who Mary Lou Henner is? I'll give you a quarter if you do.
Do you? Is she...
No. You don't know her? I don't expect you to. You?
I was born in 1995. Good answer, but that'll be amazing.
And I've been away for so long that I haven't heard of the name either.
Well, she was an Olympian gold medalist.
Yes.
What year?
What year?
There you go. There's your question. Give us a call if you know what year Mary Lou Henner was an Olympian gold medalist.
And you know what she was known for?
Wasn't that Mary Lou Retton, by the way?
What?
I was going to say that.
Yeah, I was Mary Lou Retton. Mary Lou Henner is the redhead from Taxi.
Right.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, wait a minute. I got the wrong person.
What a surprise.
Hold on. Who's coming?
Mary Lou Henner.
Oh, from Taxi?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it
She's
was
an
a
actress.
gymnast. Oh.
No, that's Mary Lou Retton.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe, because I'm thinking I'm sitting
Okay,
here.
I'm
I'm
confused.
crazy.
She actually has this kind of weird type of mental affliction that she can remember everything that ever happened to her in her life.
Mary Lou Henner.
Mary Lou Henner.
Really?
She knows when, where, the weather at that point. It's like this weird kind of
dates, years, everything.
Yes.
She's got an incredible memory.
But it's this weird kind of
so you know
switch in her brain.
Do you know how she is now? You remember the show Taxi?
He goes, I was born in
With Danny
1995.
DeVito?
With Danny DeVito, you know who Danny DeVito is?
Oh, all right.
Danny DeVito, I know who he is.
So Mary Lou Henner will be joining us. She is not
Henner.
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 Will be joining us. Not henna, that's hair color. Henner.
Henner.
Joe, thank you. Please excuse Freddie because...
Hey, Joe, next time, can you, tell me in my earpiece I got the wrong person? Thank you very much.
Gen G, we got a whole nother game. How come every day Gen G isn't here? We have a whole nother game we could play.
I do it on purpose. I had the wrong... You had me thinking all this time.
I had you thinking. I told you her name. I didn't
What's the
know you didn't
matter
know who
with
it was. You go, do you know who that is? Yeah, I do. I thought you did too.
Unbelievable what you put me through. And you couldn't say, we've been doing it for a week. I've been talking about the gymnast. What the hell's the matter with you?
I didn't know what you were talking about.
You're nuts.
Hashtag replay our first hour. You'll know why Freddie's so crazy, but we have a lot of fun.
This is why I need a shrink.
We have our in-house shrink for you right here. We've got Eileen Lemelman with us from the Center for Authentic Living. And you were on with us last week, and we were talking about eating disordered and disordered eating. And somehow you hit a nerve with Freddie.
Yes.
But I don't quite know what
I'm afraid to talk now.
I don't know what...
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. What she exposed that got to you, like something she said that resonated with you.
Well, we were talking about the difference in and how eating disorder, I mean, it's just, there are things that she brought up about my past that I didn't realize triggers my present. And I never was a firm believer of this stuff. When I meet this lady and she did that, and it just made me think about things that are going on in people's lives right now.
Did it change anything? Did it change your perspective? Did you go, that makes a whole lot more sense why I feel this way about certain things? Or what did it do?
Well, it did, and that's not always a good thing because I'm 57 now, and there are things that I wish I had changed that I think I put into my kids and I embedded in them, and I wish I hadn't. Guilt is a big thing among the Latino community. My mother was really good at it. And eating disorder, eating the wrong things in my life, I should have known better as I was growing older, that having a lot of carbs is going to be a problem. That having too much fun is going to be a problem unless you do it in moderation. But then I had diseases. All of a sudden, I took a lot of antibiotics for different reasons in my body and destroyed my gut. And that's the truth. And also I had, I'm afraid to say anything now.
I don't say anything.
What's the thing with the chicken pox?
Shingles?
That. You see, because I call it singles and she gets mad. But I had shingles and it took my shield away from the auxiliary police, and it really was an impact in my life because all of a sudden my whole career changed. NYU changed, the medical program changed, my whole life changed. And I got into a very funky place. True story. And it was my mother who took me out in 10-degree weather in New York City, made me run for miles to try to get it out of my system. And eventually that worked, or I was going to freeze to death. And these things grow with you. Now, you may cover them, you may mask them, you may put that Band-Aid on it, but I'm going to tell you, it's always there. That's why fighting in households, for me, drives me crazy. It really does. And I am 100% that I want women to grow and be strong. I have a sister, and she'll tell you, no mess with my sister. Just don't do it.
So you're talking about awareness.
Yes.
And so you said, I don't know if it's good or if it's not good that I, touch something. But awareness is not scary. Awareness is essential in order to do any kind of change or look at things in a very different way. Perhaps you're looking at it now in a different way. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing. That's great. I love it. I love it. We got things moving and going.
I'm glad you're happy.
I'm glad that what we do on this show actually resonates with you too, because sometimes you do things, right? You do your job and you do your career, and you lose your sensitivity to the reason you started or why you do it. But when we have amazing guests on and we share the information, that it can still resonate with you and I, right? We had an amazing first segment with Ben called Born Ben. We brought forward about a young man with cerebral palsy. And what it's like, now he's going forward and having a documentary made about what it's been like to be him. And now he's in college athletics as a career. If you think about it, how it resonates. Well, you don't become immune to it, which means that you were listening to Eileen and you're thinking about it and you're
Well,
bettering yourself, right? It's never
Yeah.
too late to keep growing.
No, I listen to everybody. And one of the reasons that I come to do this every day, and a lot of people ask me why, and I've been doing it for years, and they ask me why I did the Freddie Fixer show, but I didn't have guests like this. It was a different format. And I come in here, and my audience, to be honest with you, and I respect everybody that's out there listening to us in Radio Land and TV and whatever, we're all over the place. But my whole goal on this thing are these lines right behind me. Right there is what touches my soul, because I'm trying to give them a different view, a different perspective on life. Because when you open those doors and you go to work, man, I'm going to tell you, sometimes you hunt the bear and sometimes the bear will hunt you. And if you have choice in life, everything is better.
Well, I appreciate you bringing me on as a guest and also, allowing me to have a forum to talk about these really important issues. One of my, kind of goals was to destigmatize mental illness and to make it more available and accessible for people. It's not scary to take a look at yourself. It's essential to take a look at yourself in order to live a happy life. So thank you.
Well, we talk.
And also, thank you for having me today on the microphone, because it is very important to be human and to recognize and accept each other as an individual with our limitation, just as Ben did. It's a gift. Just to be aware that as an individual, you have a potential and a purpose to life. And that part that you're gonna give is important to other people. So talking about just who you are and how you have overcome difficulties, it teaches everybody that there is always a time and an opportunity for you to, no matter what the situation is, do better. And that doing better doesn't mean to have big success. It's
That's
just
right.
to live that day, one day at a time.
That's right.
In peace with yourself.
And the funny thing about this whole deal is, and I'm very proud of Ben, and I'm glad that he was on the show, but I got to take my hat off to Dylan. Because Dylan he had the cojones to go out and put together the segment, and he put it on the show. And he's been after us for weeks to do this, and there was some technical stuff and what have you. But it showed, and I ride Dylan hard. I ride him harder.
Dad said it's a good thing.
I ride him harder than anybody on the set, because I expect more from Dylan, because Dylan is very good at what he does. And I hung out with his father at the BB. He didn't leave for 2.5 hours. Your dad, I don't know where you were, but your dad was hanging out with us. And it isn't about being tough. It's about giving them a chance. And life is tough. I'm nothing. When I tell you, listen, do it over, do it over, do it over, that ain't because I want to be a buster. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with learn life, because if you don't, life is going to learn you.
It's funny because you and I look at this totally differently,
We do.
always. Not differently, but two different perspectives. What you do with Dylan, I am so happy that Hector's mom is with us, right? Because it makes us see that everyone has a family. Everyone comes from someplace, and you can't just pluck out these special producers that we have. I'm so glad you joined us, right? So it gives us more insight into Hector. When Teddy's mom comes, when Dylan's dad comes, we get to meet the families. And they tell us, what their kids are bringing home and what their experiences are. And we don't get that feedback. So I take the hug a tree side of it, because I love having everyone's family join us. And you got the whole work perspective. So same thing, different takes.
Yeah, but when I was a coach, right? I did coaching for 20 some odd years. Coach, the parents, I had a meeting with the parents before the kids. I told my coaches, take the kids away. I'm going to sit with the parents. And I made rules, which I know that you don't believe, but I made rules. I told them, when your kids are with me, they're my kids.
Rules, yes. Boundaries, not so much.
I said, they're my kids. And if you can't live with that, the door's there. Anything I say, you can get up and walk out, because I will have kids to replace them. Not a problem, or we end as friends. They're my kids. They're going to do things my way, whether you agree with it or not. So there was an NFL football player from the Minnesota Vikings whose son was on my team. And he disagreed with my whole philosophy. And he was screaming, ranting, he wanted his money back. I said, I'm going to give you something. At the end of 6 months, if we don't win a championship, I will personally give you a check. And I wrote out the check, and you can cash it, and I give you your money back. And we won that year. Gio's team won that year. That man came up to me. Not only did he rip up that check, he donated, I think, $10,000 to the organization. Because sometimes it isn't about the outcome, but it's about the journey, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Isn't that what it's all about?
I agree totally. Yes.
And then when you meet people like you, I plugged in instantly because I see that you are all about the journey, your delivery, how you talk to people. Even when you don't agree, you do the best thing you do when you do.
She lights up when she talks.
You light up rooms. It's what this whole thing is about. It's about the journey. You know, the kids are going to be the kids. Give them choice. Give them the best road possible. And don't do something out there that you wouldn't do yourself.
We do it all. Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about guilt.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how many letters in the word.
The G word.
But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or CarmenCareLaser.com.
vCard Global is the world's smartest business card that virtually allows a person or business to digitally share all of their information. With a vCard, sharing information is one simple click away. No need to open emails, websites, or social media. Updating information is easy and instant. vCard Global is the ultimate marketing tool, transforming the way we connect, communicate, and collaborate to grow your business. Text JENNG to 80800. Revolutionize your business card. For information, contact Jennifer. Text JENNG to 80800 for your free digital business card today.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video, let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV as we finish the last week in March. Hard to believe, right? I'm telling you,
ridiculous.
It was just Thanksgiving, holidays. It's time to have Christmas again, Freddie, because
Take out the batteries
we're
of
going
this
into
country.
April.
Right,
it's insane what's going on.
Is that what happens when you get older? Life speeds up.
Everything is
that
so
like a physical
so sped up. And in our last hour, we talked about life skills that we don't always, right? All these life skills we learn that we don't seem to be using, but we seem to be using guilt a whole lot. You know, culturally, everyone goes, oh, you're going to talk about guilt. But I go, it's not just my culture. Freddie talks that his mom was the best at guilt. But you don't walk around with guilt.
I do. I just don't show it.
You don't?
No.
Why is it that we all walk around with guilt, right? We talked about visiting our aging parents, if they're in dementia units. They don't know if we're there. But for us, we feel guilty,
Well,
right?
Benjamin,
If we
before
don't
you
go.
ask the question, you walk around with guilt?
Yeah.
You walk around with guilt? You walk. That is.
Okay. He doesn't show
But you
it,
have
though.
some.
Yeah.
Guilt and Dylan. Yeah.
You know, not all guilt. Not all
definitely.
guilt is bad. By the way, I just want to acknowledge that.
Tell me some good
guilt. Well, guilt can actually motivate us to,
That's
you know,
anger.
to do some good things.
That's anger, honey.
Why?
No,
Well,
it's
maybe
not
not.
anger.
What kind of
It's
guilt
not
is good?
anger.
Give me a good guilt.
Well, you know, guilt might motivate us to do more work. Guilt might motivate us to
Workaholic.
do, you know.
Keep going.
Well,
Lose weight. Anger. What else you got?
all right, well, I think guilt could be a motivator. It's when we use guilt as a way to punish ourselves or beat ourselves over what we haven't done, what we could do, what we should do. All those things, you know, will, you know, cause us to feel very bad about ourselves.
Okay, so let me ask you. Somebody says, I can't find Mr. or Mrs. Right. I feel I'm not worthy enough. That would underline the guilt, yes?
Why is that guilt? I think more
Because
guilt of
they're
that
not-
we want to do more for our families. We want to do the people pleasing thing. We want to do more for our
You
parents.
don't please yourself.
And well, therein
Isn't that a
lies this
guilt?
balance.
Is that a guilt? Not pleasing?
Guilt is like not being the perfect person.
Yes.
And not being able to perform in a way that you desire in the eyes of the others is what makes you feel less than.
Okay, so is that guilt then? If I
and in
can't
that
find
sense,
Mr. and Mrs.
I don't
Perfect?
see it as positive. You transform that guilt, that negative guilt, into something positive, and that's when you
It
realize
becomes a good guilt.
You realize that it's hurting you. So the healing process of the guilt is that evolves into a modified behavior that is going to be positive. But the guilt itself, it's negative.
The guilt can make you sick, too.
Yeah, it makes you feel less than.
Okay, so is that the guilt you're talking about? Because I think you may be talking about a different type of guilt.
Well, there's
like
a lot
eating
of guilt.
chocolate and hiding it, or smoking cigarettes
Well,
for
that's a
45
whole
years.
that too.
How the hell do you hide 45 years?
You know-
Judy, I love you, baby. You are my hero. How do you do that? And I don't know who she's keeping it a secret from.
Everyone that you just didn't.
The
apparently.
only person in the world that matters is Dan, and now he knows. I ain't snitching, baby. I ain't snitching.
He
I
just
rat you
can't
out.
even hold. But guilt,
I feel
it's
guilty.
in the eyes of other people, right? It makes us feel a certain way by how people perceive us. This goes back to how do others perceive us.
Okay,
How
so
we
what do
deal
you
with
feel
guilt?
guilty about?
Me, it's always about, do I do more? Am I working hard
That's
enough?
right.
Am I making enough phone calls? Am I doing enough for my parents
Really?
when they're in the hospital? If I don't go every day, it's that guilt of. And then there was
Hey.
one day that I just couldn't possibly go to the hospital. I
You
was just
hearing this?
wiped and spent. And my daughter said, I'll go. And I said, thank you, because I physically just
Come up
don't
here.
have it in me anymore to go to the hospital every day. And it was this guilt. Maybe it's
Come,
the
sit
cultural
over there.
religious thing. I don't know.
So you feel guilty you don't do enough.
Right.
And everybody's shaking their head like that little
Well,
dog
you
in
know,
the back of the window,
a
yeah?
lot of that has to do with, I think, you know, the way we're socialized as women also. Not that men don't have guilt. Men have guilt.
Don't put the socialized women
But
piece
we're
out there.
yes, we're socialized as women to put everybody else before us.
Really?
To put our family before us, to put others' priorities before ours. And so if we ever think about ourselves first, we feel guilty. We feel guilty
Really?
that we are, you know, having needs. Basically, we feel guilty.
That will
So,
let
okay, so
someone
hold
else
on, hold
down.
it right there, hold it right there. So you feel that way at your age in life.
52,
It doesn't
yes.
matter. Okay. And then you're half her age. And,
Probably somewhere
Pretty
around
much.
and in your world, do you ever feel guilty?
Yeah. You feel guilt like you were talking about. I mean, you can look on social media and girls, you can't post a picture of yourself and say, I look great today. You have to be like, look at the beautiful scene behind me. Look at this flower. Because you're shamed for saying like, yeah, I feel great today. I look amazing in this. Because then people call you narcissistic. They call you vain. They call you all these different things. Even in
Really?
girls my age. Yeah.
Is this like a girl thing? Guys feel like that too?
We do that too, though.
You need a mic, though.
You do it too?
Dolly, get a
Not
mic.
saying, like, as a whole.
Do guys do that?
I want to know what guys feel guilty about.
So do I, because this is like, I can't believe
You don't.
this.
Well, what kind of guilt did your mom instill in you?
Don't smoke cigarettes.
Well, yeah.
I
don't
felt
smoke.
guilty when don't do drugs. Every
Yep.
time I put that joint in my mouth, I said, my mom is dead, and I put it down.
I agree with Eileen.
That's
that- I agree with
That's what I'm saying.
that's
That
a
guilt
guilt.
is a motivator to keep us obeying the law.
Fear, baby. I have my mother here. I said, when my mother sees me doing this,
well, that was good guilt then.
That was good guilt.
She's right then, right?
Well, don't drink and drive. My mother used to say, didn't drink, don't drive.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
That's a healthy guilt.
I used to get the guilt from my mom because one of my grandparents or my great grandparents passed away because he was smoking. I used to get, if you ever smoke, your great grandfather, he would roll in his grave. You would shame his death in vain, and it's the guilt. And obviously, I haven't because I don't want that on me.
Of that?
Well, for multiple
First of all,
reasons, but that's why it was instilled in me.
I would love to go to the funeral or wherever he's buried, the cemetery. I want to see any dead person rolling in there.
That's what you're told.
Let's go check that out. That's all I got to say about that.
But
what do you feel guilty about?
Dolly.
Slide the door. There you go. There you go. You slide it, it works.
Well,
what do you feel guilty about?
Is your mic on?
Should be.
Okay.
You're the sound guy. It should be on.
It should be on. Yeah, I think it's on.
It's on.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, but no, I started hanging out with this group of people, these guys, and they got really into like the gym, like all the time. They go to the gym all the time because body issues it's not just a women thing. It really can. There's a lot of it on the guy's side, especially when you're like below 6 foot. Okay, like this whole group of guys are just like, we just gotta work out all the time, and if you're not working out, you're not doing anything with your life. You know what I mean? And so you can't really like, you see all their pictures and things like that on Instagram, and you're sitting there tired, just like, why don't I look like that? Why don't I look like that?
So you're a social media junkie?
Of course, yeah.
Really?
That causes a lot of guilt, but I think mine mostly comes from people pleasing.
You don't please enough people?
Peer pressure, no, it's peer pressure.
I don't please enough people.
Really?
Yes, I think mine comes from people pleasing.
There must be something really mentally
with my brain?
wrong with me. Oh. Because I really don't give a rat's. I really don't.
And the funny thing is, my mother doesn't either. So then you wonder where the guilt came from. Because you met
dad.
my mother.
Your dad.
Yeah.
You had
with
a father,
her purple hair and her purple clothes.
You had a father.
I think you're right. I think that's where it comes from.
He's Mr. Conservative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my mother's like you. It's the New York thing. I really don't care what people think of me. I do what I do.
Now watch. She's going to come out with a different angle because I can hear it already. What would you have to say there?
Well, I'm a New Yorker and I have guilt, so I don't know if it's a New York thing. I don't think it's a New York thing.
I don't know.
But I think really it comes down to two issues that we really need to focus on in order to deal with not only our guilt, but a lot of the pain that we deal with in life, which is compassion and acceptance. So how can we be compassionate to ourselves, and how can we accept where we are at this moment? If we can start really practicing compassion and acceptance, the guilt will lower tremendously.
Really? What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. I think
Can you do it?
Little by little. I think it's a lot to ask for all at once, but I think, I'm sure you don't do it all at once. I'm sure it's baby steps. I'm sure it's small parts of accepting things, of understanding and accepting what it really is.
Now, in the Latino community, guilt is our middle name.
Well, really? Because they do a lot of manipulation.
Yeah.
So when people manipulate,
Latino parents do that.
Yeah. In my case, it's like I feel guilty all the time because the expectations of my family are put on me, and they are told that I have to perform really well. Yeah. So when I don't do it, it's like, oh my God, what are they going to think about me? I'm a loser.
We're talking about never feeling like enough. Never feeling enough.
Yes.
That's what that comes from. I'm never enough. I never do enough. I'm never smart enough. I'm never, enough. And that's where a lot of
the guilt comes from.
You
live in church.
Well, you've had the confessional, right?
Yeah, we have to confess our sins.
Well,
yeah.
I went the other way, and there was no confessionals, but the guilt is always there. You go to church, they say
it's worse. It's worse because you don't say it. At least.
But can I then say a couple of things, and then you tell me if I'm nuts? Okay, there's no value in being guilty. Let's talk about money for a second. Everybody agree that money makes the world go round?
There's no value in worry either, but we do it.
Oh, hold on a second. We're gonna get
no. I don't believe money makes the world go round.
Okay. Do you pay your bills?
Money makes your life a lot easier.
Okay, but do you pay your bills? In other words, will FPL shut you down if you don't pay?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't eat, will you starve?
Yes.
If you don't have a roof over your head, will you live in the street?
Yes.
And then get thrown in jail because you're panhandling? Okay, so
Perhaps.
let's say money is a very important aspect.
Yes, it is.
What is the monetary value? I'm just trying to use an example here. What is the value of doing all of this guilt on you? Because it's just going to hold you back. It ain't going to make you better unless you have some fear and you don't smoke or you don't drink or whatever. And you should reduce that. Then why do you do it? Why do you have so much? Why do we believe so hard in guilt as opposed to believing in yourself? Let's weigh those two options.
Because we're trying to make everyone else happy.
It's
Of
easier.
ourselves,
And
right?
how do you do that?
You don't. But you
So
think
then,
you can.
if you know that, why are you trying?
It's about self-acceptance too.
Self-acceptance?
Because, yes, because if you cannot accept that you are part of a family or you are a part of another person's life, you don't live just by yourself. You have to be able to
Relate?
Yeah,
With
that could be
everybody?
a word, but I'm looking to be able to give. It's more that I'm
Yeah, but if you
looking
don't
at.
give you, doesn't it begin here?
But that's the
I
thing.
can't give. I can't even give me.
But if you have an equilibrium between, and there's communication part of this, a lot has to do with being able to be honest and recognize that what you can do and what you cannot do.
Okay.
And tell the other person, listen, I want to be at the hospital today. I'm so tired. I need a time for myself.
Then don't go.
And it's okay. Don't go.
But
you don't
you
have
don't
to
need
feel guilty, but you have to say it.
But
Because
you
if
don't
you
have
don't say it and you
yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
Pero qué cosa. Okay, then Doc, I have a
Pero qué
problem.
cosa.
I got
Pero
a
qué
problem,
cosa.
Doc, because if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it.
It's so much easier. It's so much easier to feel guilt. I mean, I can't speak for anyone else but myself, but it's easier to feel guilt and to blame yourself and to be like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing this. I have to change this. Than it is to just be like, you know what? Like, I'm doing my best. I'm doing all I can. It's so much harder to do that because society and, society or whatever you name that as tells you like, no, you're right. You are doing this wrong. Or like, look at these people who are doing it right and you don't see the other side of their struggle.
Well, everyone, right? And Eileen, you see a lot of people.
Yes, I do.
And do you hear these stories?
Of course.
And what do you
of
tell
course.
somebody?
Guilt will cause people to
have diseases.
Yeah.
To make mistakes.
Make mistakes. To use.
I'm gonna throw a duck at him.
We'll sometimes use substances to
Over and over again.
For coping.
For coping,
Makes no
to
sense to
shut
me.
down the pain, whatever. But again, we can talk about compassion and acceptance. So can we accept what we need? Can we accept that we might not meet other people's needs, but that's okay because we're being compassionate to ourselves.
Can you be compassionate to you and don't give a crap about what anybody else thinks?
I mean, bless everyone who can. I'm working on it.
But you can.
But
You
I
just
don't
ain't
think
caught up
that's
yet.
the way. That's the
That's
goal.
just the harsh
That's
way.
not the goal.
But let me ask you,
not give
if
a
I
crap.
ask you to reach,
we're talking about balance.
But if I ask you to reach Mars and you get to the moon, have I gotten halfway there? I mean, I just get really, really upset because I've been doing this for so many years, and I ask people, listen, be you, don't be me, be yourself. And they don't, because I don't push hard enough. Now I don't care. I want you to be better. I'm on Dylan like white on rice. I gotta be, because I know he can do better. I know he's great at what he does. Same thing with this young lady. So is it wrong to be harsh? To remove that
That's
guilt?
not the guilt. And then we talked
Remove
about the
the
last hour, the difference between guilt and shame.
Mhm. Yes.
Right? Is
Yes.
there a difference between guilt and shame, Eileen?
Yes. Shame is the result of guilt.
The
Really?
Yes.
You know what? You get a belt for that.
Shame is the result of guilt. We talked about Monday when we had the show on about shame.
This is what I'm telling you. What do you,
You
get
can't
out
have
of it?
shame you can't have shame without guilt.
Shame is created out of guilt.
Yes.
And it's funny because I just said, what do you get for having guilt? What is the monetary value of it? It's shame.
And the funny thing is you go to sleep that night, right? And you wake up the next morning and the situation's pretty much the same. It hasn't changed. But yet we've worried, we've been guilty, we've done all these things in our brains, and we've done nothing but make ourselves sick or whatever we do.
Not to make the show, I don't want to go really low, but
yeah, let's go low.
We have to look at the ultimate guilt reaction, which is survivor's guilt, and the shame that we haven't done enough, and we cannot really deal with it any longer. I mean, unfortunately, we had an experience like that here in Florida. Where, well, it wasn't in Florida. It was Sandy Hook. The father.
Yes.
Well, it was the girl first. It was Aiello. I forget her first name.
Last weekend we had 3.
Yeah. People
The one who's standing
killing
to down
themselves
here.
because of survivor guilt. That's the ultimate feeling of shame. That
Well,
you
I
haven't
saw-
done
Commercial
enough.
break. When we come back, let's
Hold
talk
on.
about it.
I saw on the news where a lot of soldiers now they're finding
Yes.
out, and the problem is that when you kill yourself as a soldier, you don't get compensated.
An
Your
honorable
family
discharge.
doesn't. Your family doesn't get compensated, so they cover up.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of that happening right now. And Kim, we love you. Yes, you agree. She's a fan of ours, and you keep up the good fight and just keep going. But you know, this is just some real serious stuff going on.
Let's come back from commercial break. Let's talk about what's going on. 888-565-1470. Stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Hi there. I'm Eileen Lemmelman, licensed clinical social worker at the Center for Authentic Living.
And I am Dr. Jill Schwartzberg, licensed psychologist at the Center for Authentic Living.
We are holistic mental health practitioners providing a variety of treatment modalities to help you.
We offer individual therapy, couples therapy, family therapy, as well as numerous groups and workshops.
Don't forget to contact us at 561-265-5738.
Or visit us at www.centerforauthenticliving.com.
Don't forget to be mindful and breathe.
Do you want to enhance your love life with flowers? Rejuvenate love, life, health with flowers from Blossom Moments? Weekly deliveries to your home, your business, hospital, or even senior centers. Give us a call at 561-951-6343. Blossom Moments could also coordinate your wedding or event. Contact Blossom Moments at bmgevents.net. For all of your floral event needs, large or small, call Blossom Moments. 561-951-6343. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video. Let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
They just had a meeting about that.
And
we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV as we wrap up the week. We're talking about guilt, and Eileen brought up a great point. Eileen Lemmelman from Center for Authentic Living about survivor guilt, right?
Yes.
There were 2 students from Parkland took their lives last week, and then the dad from Sandy Hook has survivor's guilt. What does that look like? What's going on?
Well, survivor guilt is when the person who wasn't necessarily a victim, but feel as if they haven't done enough, or they feel guilty that they couldn't help, or that they were, left to carry on, tell the story. And, that there's just this sense that they should have done something, they should have been there, they should have, protected, or they should have been the one that was, the victim. And it leaves the person feeling really, really helpless and hopeless. And in their mind, there's no other way out.
And that's the word I want to use, because I think guilt comes from helplessness.
Yes.
Right? I think that you don't feel that you do enough, a la you, or you feel helpless to do. Okay, then straighten my brain up. I do the best I can with what I have. Okay? I don't want to feel guilty about nothing. Life is too short. Life goes like this. So you're going to spend time feeling guilty, you're going to end up in the middle of a clot, right? So, do I overcome these fears? Does it make me a bad person not to feel guilty about anything?
Well, how do we overcome? What are some of the coping skills? What are some coping strategies that people seem to lose sight of instead of just... And someone was saying people get divorced so quickly, people leave marriages so quickly, they get out so quickly instead of trying to deal with some of these coping skills of working through issues.
Well, you're talking about, well, first of all, guilt is actually a defense mechanism.
Okay.
So.
Like fear?
Like there.
Fear.
Like there.
Yeah. So we feel guilty a lot of times, in order to make ourselves feel better, that we're not doing something, or that we, don't want to feel or be accountable for our own behaviors, so we'll feel guilty about that. So it is a defense mechanism, but also a lot of times we use guilt to, protect ourselves from painful feelings, from feeling as if we're not, as I said before, enough, adequate enough, done enough. We're not enough, so then we feel guilty.
It is also a symptom of stress, post-traumatic stress. So when you have suffered trauma,
yes,
the guilt make you revive and feel that at that moment that the trauma occurred, you were not able to do anything, and you cannot pass that moment. So your brain makes you live again and again and again that moment. That's why it's post-traumatic stress, and the depression and the hopelessness come from not being able to pass that moment. That's why it's very important to have treatment and follow up a long time after the event has happened, the traumatic event has happened. So to follow up on those people and not just believing that they are okay is very important.
Stay in touch with them.
Now, also, if you have,
point.
I think we have a show on Fridays. If you have a coaching buddy, like sometimes you
accountability buddy,
buddy, where you will tell somebody who you trust, obviously, how you feel. Is that healthy, or should they seek professional help?
No, sometimes having a buddy is equal, if not better, than seeking out help. I'm not saying that, everyone always has to seek therapy. I think having a support system, having the safety and the comfort of sharing those feelings is very important, whether it's a professional or a friend. Sometimes a friend doesn't know how to help the real deep, effects of what, I forgot your name. Martha just pointed out about post-traumatic stress disorder.
And can you
that needs real professional intervention.
You can do more damage giving the wrong advice?
Well, here's you want to
add damage. No, it's not more damage. It's just they might need more professional help.
We want to add guilt to the guilt, because now you've told your accountability buddy something, and they're not equipped to handle it. Now, you think they're going to give you this great answer, your buddy, that you shared this. Now, this buddy's sitting here with guilt of, what if I give the wrong information? What if, and I told you this the other day, what if I don't go meet this friend for coffee and they do something drastic? What if I gave the wrong information and they don't have another coping skill? So I would always say, if you are in this position, seek professional help.
You know, and also, a lot of times we can use the reverse to that. A lot of people don't want to talk to the person that they think is suffering because they don't feel, you know, they don't want to bring up a bad subject, or they don't know if they should be bringing it up. But I would say, do it.
Yes.
Talk to them. Reach out. Say, you don't seem right. You're not participating in activities like you used to, or you seem like you're withdrawn, or are you suffering? Are you feeling this? Because a lot of times we don't want to step on toes, but actually it's what's called for.
It's a good idea just to have a friend just listen. You don't have to say anything. You just listen and ask, you know, how you feeling or how you coping. Is there something that I can do to help you? But just going out to somebody, just trying to be there for that person is enough.
So if I don't go to this meeting and something happened to this person, then I should feel guilty because I didn't go to the meeting?
You shouldn't feel guilty, but some people do.
Well, it can also be to a point of maybe it's something in a relationship. Maybe it's something in a relationship where you're like, I'm no longer happy with person, and this person also happens to have an issue such as that. Maybe it's drug related, alcohol related, PTSD, something like that. And now you're like, well, what if I'm their coping mechanism? What if when I end this relationship because I'm not happy, something happens to them? And that's
How
just
old
a
are
whole
you?
23.
Okay. That's a lot of weight.
Well, it's happened to me, and
You've been there.
it's a really horrible feeling.
It's happened to you.
Yeah, I had
That's
an
a lot of
ex-boyfriend who was a drug addict, and he was doing a lot of bad things, and I was, became no longer happy in the situation. I tried to help him as much as I could, and it got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore, and he was threatening suicide when I tried to end it, and it went on for almost a year, sending me awful pictures and all this stuff, and it's just, I've always had this fear that, like, what if I was his coping mechanism? And I was for a really long time. What if when that ended, he did something? What if he really did commit suicide? And it's a horrible feeling that you feel like you have to sacrifice your own happiness to save someone else's life.
Well, hold it right there.
Point.
Well, hold it right there. That's
Eileen, that's next week's show.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
That's good.
That's a good point. I want to hold it right there. So what do? Because you see, my take on it, I say, you want to do it, then do it. There's an old joke in my family. Use a gun because it's faster than a rope. Just saying, it's a bad joke, I know. But what do? 23. You must have been, what, 20? 21?
I was 19.
A 19-year-old.
18, 19.
Got her whole life in front of you. What do you say? You say, don't do what?
Well, as a mom, as a therapist,
everything.
what do you say?
Right. Well, obviously you were in a very, very difficult, precarious situation, and you felt that, you were his lifeline, and that's a very, very bad place to be. Absolutely. Well, the best thing to do if that ever happens, first of all, there are tools. First of all, we can Baker Act somebody. If we think somebody is really a risk to themselves or to others, we might have to Baker Act them. We might have to call the police. We might have to, find alternatives. But the other thing is we have to notice that there's a difference between somebody wanting to make you feel guilty and they are experiencing real mental illness.
How can people get in touch with you, Eileen? Because you are local, you're in Delray Beach. You have
Yes.
the Center for Authentic Living. You are a holistic wellness center. You offer
Yes.
a lot of modalities to help people.
Yeah, so you can call me at 561-265-5738. We're located in Delray, 1200 Northwest 17th Avenue. And reach out to me. I can help you.
Now I want to talk to the fellas back here because you guys know street justice, right? Oh, no. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you can't Baker Act people. You talk about street justice here. You gotta listen to what she said. This is a drug user. This is street justice. So you start messing at that level, you're gonna be in the soup. All I gotta tell you, if I'm your dad, it ain't gonna be a pretty ending here. Just not. But you can't carry that weight.
No.
Yeah. And
Just
I would like to
cannot.
put out that, he is okay. And I do thankfully have someone who knows him, and he is okay.
Well,
Just
that's
putting
the
that
way-
out there.
That's
Well,
the
that's
way.
good.
That's a happy
Yeah.
ending.
And that's why I'm able to, be okay.
But if she
because I
were
know
my
he's
daughter,
okay.
I would have said it's not your responsibility.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
done what you could. Now he has to have the weight of this illness so that he can get better.
Yeah, but
Because
that's what my parents said.
Yes,
Yeah, but
because
you're-
if he didn't help himself,
Yeah, but you, mom, we're talking about street justice, right? You know what I'm talking about. And street justice, when you're dealing with an individual like this, it gets kind of complicated. It ain't as simple as let's.
Again,
be
you
lo-
and I are always on the opposite sides on these
It's not-
things. I
it's
go
not-
hug a tree.
Well, you know what I'm
Mom.
talking about. You can't always be logical, is what I'm saying. Because sometimes ugly comes to the door, and you got to get ugly. But the bottom line here, you are the only thing that counts. So what you want is what's going to be. You don't carry that weight. You got to
Yeah.
let all that go.
That's one of those things that like.
And you know what? The
guilt.
good thing, the thing that you and others have to really look at when you have a situation like that, you feel like you're the lifeline, you feel like you can't help, or what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about this situation so that it can inform you for the future? Because you obviously, make choices based on where you are at that moment. But you're given certain situations, so we have to learn from
Love
it.
that. I love that. And that's the most important lesson in this whole book is if you need a pencil, I can help you write it. Because I'm going to tell you, Teddy, not for nothing, but you are a book. You are a class act.
Thank you.
And nobody going to take that away from you.
Wow,
That's it all.
she's young and so
Didn't I tell you this morning with this
great.
one? She's remarkable. Our crew is remarkable.
They are.
And I love that you guys feel comfortable enough to bring your family. We met your mom on remote. She brought bagels, of course.
She
Like
did.
the Jewish mom, Guilty Brock's food. Hector, thank you for bringing your mom and sharing her with us.
And soon we will have Hector cookies. We're gonna do
Yes.
that. Hector is a baker. This guy is unbelievable. And we're
But-
going to be doing some damage with that.
Eileen, thank you for always joining us. What you bring to the table is incredible, and people need help. They need guidance.
Phone
They
number.
need to reach out to someone.
561-265-5738.
Thank you all. Have a great weekend, everyone. Great job, Dylan. We're going to repost the show so you can see about Born Ben and his documentary with cerebral palsy. Be kind to each other. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Pure Wave. Supercharge your cells. Energize your body with Pure Wave therapy. Internationally patented, Pure Wave technology helps eliminate radiation from modern electronic devices, which can cause chronic disease. Pure Wave technology strengthens the immune system and metabolism while activating hormone production. PureWaveNow.com, 561-965-7777. Are you ready for improved cell regeneration, less discomfort, a longer, healthier, vital life? Contact PureWaveNow.com for your consultation. Non-invasive technology promotes relaxation, a better quality of life, and more energy. Call PureWave Now at 561-965-7777. PureWaveNow.com.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000 square foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more goodwill next time. You can follow the cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.